Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. In today's tutorial we'll try to create some camera move, and in this tutorial we will cover these main things: the camera move, some Mograph tips and techniques, and some use of F-curve. We make a new file and we'll write some text. For example, motion, and we call it, the second text we call it design. Okay, we select both of them, align middle. Okay, and we make them 0 0 0. It's already 0, coordinates are 0. Okay, so we call this one motion and this one design. So in this one we will decide, let's suppose we have to decide in the beginning that which letter we have to use to be is the starting point of our animation. So in this case, let's suppose we'll take this T. Okay, so we'll start our animation zooming into this letter T, and then we'll slowly come back. So in that case, let's suppose we change the font and with some take thick font so it's more clear. Okay, and to make this letter T more prominent, let's change the color to something else. Let's give white to both of them, and then we select this motion only and collapse this one. So we can see when we make it expand it, you can see that it's divided into individual letters. So we create a new material, shader, new material, and we apply to T, and we change it to, let's suppose, red, and we don't need specular, reflectance in both. Okay, so this is our beginning. Now we want to move it, and in this tutorial I will focus mainly on camera move and some Mograph tips and techniques to make some title designs. So I will not deep dive into the lighting and rendering session. That we can cover later. So in this tutorial we just focus on animation and the camera move. So let's add the camera. To add the camera, we just come here and we add target camera. Okay, and to come now, this is a perspective view, this is not the camera view. So to come into the camera view, we just have to come here and click this button. Okay, so now we are in our camera move view, and everyone has his own style of working, but I will share my own style of working and my the way I work and the tips and techniques I use. So it's up to you, either you can use them or no. So what I will do, I will select both of them and come to coordinate and press my right click on X and Y. So now it's in the center. I have one more tip. To make your frame balance, what you do is you come to the camera view and you select the camera object, and you come to the composition and switch on this option grid. So now you can see there are some lines going in the screen, and these are called rule of thirds. So it divides your screen into 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 panels. So we'll try to keep this thing. What exactly rule of third is, I will cover this thing later in my other tutorials, in coming up tutorials. In today we will just focus some basic things. So what we'll do is we select both the camera and the target, and we try to make it in center. Okay, after making it center, now we have to animate the camera. So let's suppose I want it to be, I will expand my timeline to, let's suppose, 200 frames. Okay, and around 80 or 90 frames my animation is ending. Okay, so first I will add my ending keyframes. I will come to the coordinate and add, click on these 3 buttons and they will become red. So you can see now the keyframe is added here. So now I will go back to my 0, and what I will do now is I will click the middle mouse button. Now I have 3 views. So what I will do is, now you can see my target is on the letter close to T, and I will just push it a little bit above on top of it. Okay, and add the keyframe here also. Similarly, I will select the camera now. I go from here, zoom the top view, close until we see only the red color. Just be careful that it should not cross its target, because otherwise it will get flipped, you can see. So we just have to, either we can select the target and move it a little bit more behind and close to the camera. We have moved the camera more closer to the letter. Okay, now again we have to make the camera straight perfectly. So we'll select both camera and target. Again we come here, X, sorry, we do not need to move X because this is our X. In X this is fine, just the Y we want to make it straight. Okay, so now we come back to the main camera view and we play the animation. Let's see what is this now. Okay, so you can see it's more coming from the foot of the which is not looking nice, of the letter. So we want it to be coming from the middle. So what we'll do is, we have 2 options to do. Either we come directly in the viewport, select the camera, we just move it up, okay, and play. See, still it's not working, because as soon as we coming back, it's almost below. So the more professional and the more easy way and the more perfect way of doing this in F curve. So how can we access F curve? We have 2-3 ways to access F curve. Right click and show down, and we come here and click show F curves. So it will open this window. Or the other way is, you can come here, window, and there is button called F curve here. It is here, I think so, as far as I remember. Yes, timeline F curve. Okay, I normally access from here. I have a shortcut called A, so I press A only and it opens. Anyways, so now you can see there are X, Y and Z for camera and for target, because we only keyframe X, Y and Z of position of the camera and the target. We are not using scale and rotation of this camera. So now you have to see that when we are moving back in Z axis, and we want to move it little bit on Y axis to the upside. So what we'll do is, we come here and select Y from here and Y from here, because we want to move both of them together. And now you can see still you have a lot of lines going on. So we want, because it is showing you all the axis of both the objects, both things. So what we want to see is, we want to see only the Y axis of camera and target. So in order to see only the one selected axis, we come here to the F curve and we switch off this option, show all tracks. So now you can see only this one. So again, this view is not proper, so we want to have a clear and zoomed view. So what we will do is right click and frame all. So now it's more clear and easy view. So what we do now is, we can just come here and select this button and slowly start moving up. So you can see now in your viewport, the camera is moving up and your object is coming almost center to the screen. So now you're starting from here and you play, and perfect. So as soon as it reaches to the end of the keyframe, it is almost in the center, and when it's going back, still it's almost starting from the center of the target. It's too much up now, you can let it move down. Okay, so this is what we want for our camera move. The position of the ending frame is little bit hard, so we want to make it smooth. So what we'll do is we select the camera and camera target, select all the keyframes. One more thing I want to mention here is that the techniques I'm sharing with you guys for now is actually has some animation principles for this one also. So I cannot sum up everything related to animation in this one. So for that one you need to understand the principles of animation, and in order to understand that one, I will be coming with new tutorials for animation principles later on. So if you do not have a background in animation, you need to see those tutorials, which will improve and help you out in understanding how things move. So for now I will just do the simple step here. Select all the curves and press Ctrl and Shift and then click and drag. So actually what it is doing is it is smoothing the ending of the animation. So it starts fast and then at the end it slowly settles down. Play again. Slowly settles down. Okay, now we don't need curve editor anymore, so we just close it down. Now we want this text to be animated somehow. Cinema 4D is the best tool for doing motion designing and motion graphics, so because it's very easy. So in order to do that, what we'll do is we'll select all this text, Mograph fracture. Sorry, we have to create fracture first and then select all of them, and not all of them except T, because we don't want T to be moving, so we just keep T out of this fracture, and we select the fracture, and now we come here and apply this random effector. So as soon as we apply this random effector, what it is doing is it's actually applying it to all individual objects. Now in order to see the exact position, I have to come out of my camera view. How can I come out of my camera view is I will click again, it will come out of camera view, or second way is cameras, use camera default camera, because this is our personal camera and this is default camera. Okay, so now you can see that they are moved from their places. Again, I'm telling you, this is not a detailed lecture about Mograph. You should have a background in Mograph before understanding this lecture, because I'm sharing my tips and techniques to do some motion designing fast. You select the random and come to the parameter section, and here you have position. See, if I will switch it off and on, it's changing its position. So what I want is I want only in Z axis, not X and Y. So I make 0 and 0 in X and Y, and in Z I will increase it. Let's suppose 1000. Okay, now you can see it's completely random. Some are coming towards the camera, and some are going away from the camera. So I want all of them going towards the camera. So how can I achieve that one? For that one I will come to effector, and I will have this minimum and maximum values. So what I will do is I will reduce the maximum value to 0, so that it will not go behind its maximum value. It will always stay there. So now in order to animate this one, I can see now when I go back my letters are there. So I want them to be moved. So let's suppose when I come here to 30, I start seeing them animated. So I will come to parameter, press Z and go back to somewhat like 100 and press 0. So they're settled there. Okay, and also I want some rotation. So in order to do the rotation, I will come here, go back a little bit and see which axis I want to rotate. I want to rotate on this axis. Okay, minus 50. So let's suppose. and we come here, and we make it 0. Okay, you can feel a bit of a rotation and a bit of a translation also. Same thing will apply here. I will do quickly here, because this is not collapse, so we can directly apply Mograph to this one. If you are familiar to Mograph, you know this thing. Again, this is not this is not a basic tutorial. This is a little advanced tutorial for people who are already using Cinema 4D somehow. Again, quickly, we can use the same Mograph random. Okay, just duplicate this one, okay, and apply the same one, so we can have same effect at the same time, so fast and quick. Only to create more random values, we just come here to the rotation, and instead of -50, we make it like +70, and then it has a little bit change. So that's all for today's tutorial. If you want to create more variation and more add more dynamic to your camera, you can rotate your camera a little bit. Like, you just come to the camera, select the camera, go to the ending frame, for example, first finish rotation here, and you start your rotation from here. You have rotated, and then as soon as coming back, it's really, I think you can better end at the same time, and start also a little bit early. Okay, so it's more dynamic. That's all for this tutorial. If you have any questions, and if you didn't understand something and you have any questions, feel free to ask me. I would appreciate if you give some comments in the comment box, and do subscribe my channel for upcoming tutorials. Thank you.